Hello and welcome to Golden Hour. This is episode 3, and today we are interviewing my special friend, Kasey Levinsohn. So, Kasey, little birdie told me that you are going to state this weekend for cross country. Can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. I'm going to state this weekend to compete.
And how are you feeling about that?
I'm excited. I'm very eager to be able to race against, the best guys in the state, see where I match up. I will say, I think going into it, I thought I was going to be happier making state because this has been what I've been working for. This has been like kind of my dream.
Absolutely.
For 2.5, 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But after the race, when I knew I made it, it was just kind of like, oh, it's just another race.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because the way I approach everything is just like, it's more about the process of getting there.
Absolutely.
I don't want to have the cliche, like, it's about the journey. But, it kind of really is. It's about what I did to get to this point rather than just the outcome or the result.
Yep. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is your first time going to state.
It is. It is my first time.
So obviously, you kind of were saying how it's just another race to you, but to other people, I mean, this is a really big moment for you. Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It's a big step forward in my running career, and it's not that I'm taking it for granted or anything. It's just that, it really is just another race. The stakes aren't any higher,
Yep. So you just kind of started out through all of your years. You were here at one point, but now you're up here. You really went one step at a time, just trying to get to where you are today.
Yeah, I've always had big goals, but I've just kind of tried to focus every single year on the process of like, how can I maximize today? I never worry about the outcome or the result. I don't really care about the times. I care about just, am I seeing growth? Am I seeing improvement? Both physically, I guess, in the times, but also mentally. Am I competing better with the people around me? And am I staying kind of, I guess you could say, locked in the race, longer and all that.
Now, you kept talking about your process. What is that?
Well, my process is training every day, the best I can, I think that it looks different for different people, and everybody has a process. If you're an artist, your process is maybe what do you do before you make an art piece or something. If
you got to do the planning stage, what you're going to do, and how are you going to go at the goal.
Yeah, if you're an artist, or a musician, it's, if something comes to your mind, you should probably write it down if it sounds good. You should practice and all these things. So it really is the same. I think athletics is super close to being like an artist, I guess you could say.
Now, a lot of people say practice makes perfect. And in your case, you've been practicing a long time. But would you say you're anywhere near perfect?
No. I don't think practice makes perfect, but practice... Oh, what's that quote? There's a quote that's like, practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes better. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. Yeah.
And I think that's a really good way to go about life. No matter how hard you work at something, you're never going to be perfect. Even the best people out there aren't perfect. There's always something for them to improve upon.
Yeah, and there's a beauty in that, isn't there? Don't take yourself so seriously because nobody has everything figured out. This is everyone's first time living, like your parents, the person that you see passing in the halls. Everyone is just living for the first time. So, number one, don't be so hard on yourself, and number two, let that person do what they're gonna do. I never really got making fun of the people for, doing what they want to do, and I guess I don't want to maybe seem hypocritical. There's definitely been times when I've been maybe not my best, but it's everyone's first time living. You're not going to look back on this in 50 years and go, oh man, I failed that test. Yeah, you're gonna remember the memories you made with friends and the
absolutely.
good experiences.
Yeah, and I think it's important that you're in the moment, right? You only live once. From the moment you're born till the moment you die, that's the time you get. And I think when we, like you said, when we're going to sit there and focus on what this kid is doing, why should we really care? I mean, let's worry about ourselves. Let's really just do what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, Father Time is undefeated. Life is still going every single second, and you can't get back what already happened. So embrace everything that happens. You've gotten through 100% of your bad days, or whatever the quote is, and I mean that's true. So
now let's just kind of go back towards cross country, right? Where you're in the moment, right? It's happening then. Obviously, this is a big moment, so you'll think back upon it. But in that moment, kind of what are you thinking?
Like mid-race?
Sure.
Well, mid-race, and I guess before the race as well, I try and become super grateful.
Absolutely. For
everything. I often tell myself mid-race, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get to race. And, that really does help. Because you realize, if I do good in this race, if I do bad in this race, and this is for anything, not just athletics, not just a competitive sport, if you do good or bad, 90% of the time, your parents still love you. You still have your friends. You still have the relationships you've created. There's no punishment for losing.
And if anything, some of those relationships and bonds probably are going to even get stronger, because you're in the race. People are coming there to support you.
Yeah.
They're showing their love. They're showing their respect for you. And it really strengthens that bond between one another.
Yeah, 100%. And then also on the other side of the spectrum, if people change their opinion about you, whether you do good or bad in whatever endeavor you pursue, then you should be able to look at that and go, hey, I did good and they were really nice to me. And they were, giving me all this positive stuff, but I didn't do as good as maybe I have in the past. And now their kind of views on me changed. You should go, they're not a reliable source of anything. And you should probably not, take what they say, take what they do with a grain of salt, because it doesn't really matter.
And, one person's opinion has no effect. It should not have an effect on my life. If you think you're really smart and I'm really dumb, why should I care that you think I'm dumb? I know what I am. I know I'm smart, so I don't think that we need to be really paying attention to other people's opinions. Obviously, we should respect other people's opinions, but when they're trying to use that against us and trying to bring us down, I just think it's unnecessary and not worth our time.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. You shouldn't really care what people think about you, because people are always going to be thinking things. I can't change what you think of me. So why should I put all this mental, do all these mental gymnastics to worry about what you think of me? If I can't change what you think of me, why would I give you the time of day to worry about it?
Well, I think that's enough for this episode today on Golden Hour. So, Kasey, I hope you do very well at state.
Thank you.
You don't only have your family, your friends, but you have a whole school.
Thank you.
Thousands of people who are going to be cheering for you, wanting you to come back with that state title.
No promises on that one, but
that's all right, as long as you give it your best.
Yeah.
As long as you know you tried.
That's all that matters.
All right, well, that's today on Golden Hour, and we will see you next time.